Hey there. So today we'll be discussing on how to use the different LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini to help improve your Amazon product listing. So the idea of using these LLMs is not new. There are a lot of people who have started using it, and it's on paper a great concept because you get an opportunity to improve on your listings without spending a lot of time and research in making sure that your product is as good as it can be. There are some issues that come along with it. We'll discuss that as we go along. So let's just take an example to see how you can use it to kind of improve your listing. So let's take an example of this particular product. It's a tumbler for kids. Arguably a great product. It has some good reviews. More than 2,000 people bought it last year, but it has some issues in terms of the category that it is in. Tumblers are extremely competitive, so they need to do as much as possible to make sure that they have an advantage over it. So just for context, to give you an idea of what a product listing is or the different components of it, let's just walk through it. So this on top is called the product title. Amazon has some restrictions on what can and cannot be included in product title. There are some best practices. For example, it's always a good idea to start with the brand name. And now there are different schools of thought. Sometimes people say that, instead of using the brand name, you can just start off with the product listing. For example, 14 ounce tumbler and handle and so on. Some more best practices are to include some, keywords like insulated stainless mug, and some USPs like keeps the drinks cold for 18 hours, and also the size of the product, which is a 2-pack in this case. So that's the product title, and over here are the product descriptions. Here you can see 5. Not a lot of people know this. Amazon allows up to 10 different bullet points of featured products that could be included, though it shows sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes all 10 in certain situations. But regardless, it's a good idea to input the 10 different bullet points. So these bullet points, again, it's thought out. There are different features. So the idea is to include as many keywords as possible. Idea is to entice the customer to purchase the product when they go through this. So these are the different components of the product listing. There are additional ones like A+ content and so on, but here we'll just be focusing on this. So if I was the souvenir store who's selling the product and the brand reduce, let me see how I can make just an easy way to use these LLMs to make it better. So for example, let's go to ChatGPT and I'll be like, I am the world's best, sorry, it got struck. So let's see, I am the world's, oh, it knows it got cut off. Okay, interesting. I'm the world's best Amazon catalog listing manager. Please improve on this product title. So I just put it in, and so for ChatGPT will come up with its own version of how the listing can be. So it says that the new listing that it generated, helps brand the hype. So the current thing is like 2-pack and stainless steel. I think it seems a little smaller, but of course it's a good enough title. You can do the same thing with Gemini. I'll just copy paste the whole thing. I'll paste it into Gemini and let's see what Google has to come up with in this. And at the same time, I'll put it in Claude as well. I'm sorry. Okay, just paste it on Claude and let's see what comes. So Gemini has come up with a smaller product title. It has recognized the reduce being the brand name to come in the beginning, and it has some reasons why it generated, for example, some keywords. It thinks that reduce is a keyword and not a brand. So another issue with using LLMs to do this kind of thing, and there are some different options as well. Same with Claude. If you see, they've kind of played around with different versions of it. The idea that these LLMs have used to make it shorter for some reason. And so these are the different ways. The same concept you can apply to the different product categories as well. You can copy paste this. You can say that, hey, please make this better. You can also include additional prompts like include a certain list of keywords that you want to be included. you can really get deep and you can really make the prompt even more complex. You can say that, hey, the first version of the first section of the prompts need to be bold uh, or not. Um, and you can also enter the links to competing products or product that you think have good listings and say that, hey, take references from these other products and create a new listing. And then you can go back, copy paste it, or do a flat file upload, and you can do all these things. So here are some issues that I've seen when people have tried to do this. So the first issue is that um, obviously there are a lot of prompts that you can give directions for these LLMs to generate it. So for example, you can say that the title needs to be under 200 characters, for example. It needs to have these keywords. It needs to be in this particular format and so on. So you can do all these different variations. Problem is it still takes time to do that, and there are a lot of possibilities in doing that. The second issue is that even though you may generate all of these in seconds, even though you may have a preset template, you'll still need to copy paste it into your Amazon account, and it'll take time to get reflected, and it may even get disproved or disapproved because of some violations. Speaking of the violation, another issue is that Amazon is very particular about a set of words that you can and cannot use in these listings. For example, you cannot use words like antimicrobial or antibacterial. And so there are a few other keywords that you cannot use. And you can, of course, your prompt becomes even more bigger where you can say that, hey, these are the 50 words. Please do not include them in the listing title or the descriptions. And of course, like I said, the final issue is that this is you would need to do this as often as possible. You would need to do this as often as you discover new keywords. You will still need to do keyword research. So essentially the idea for using LLMs is to make your life easier, is to make the whole process of managing your listing off your mind and let the LLM take over, but have the confidence at the same time to make sure that they do as good as possible. And so this was one of the inspirations behind building Xena Foresight, which is our tool that we built. So after a lot of trial and error with all these LLMs, we have kind of created a tool to make the whole process easier. Only thing you have to do, copy paste the link, and it will use all the different open LLMs that are available and select the best version of the new descriptions to be created. It will take into account Amazon's latest regulations, character limits, and words that cannot be used. At the same time, because we manage more than 50 different brands, we know what keywords work, we know the search volumes, and we know the most impactful way to make sure your listing stands out. At the same time, it also has the ability to directly sync or make the changes to your listings from our platform instead of having to go to Seller Central, upload a flat file, or try to make the changes on the backend separately. So for example, it has generated 10 different listings which can be updated on your Amazon portal. And so if you expand on it, you will be able to see the different keywords that were included. And plus, if you create an account, you will also be able to see the different keyword search volumes that were implemented. So I'll just use my account to quickly sign up. And once I do sign up, I will be able to see a little bit more detailed version of the foresight that is to be created. So here, if you go to the Xena Foresight page, here I've added the generated version of the new listing. So here you'll be able to see all the relevant keywords that Foresight was able to pull directly from Amazon and from different sources from our own database. And it chose the top search volume keywords that need to be included in the generation. And you can add even more keywords based on the search volume. You can even manually add in any keywords that you may want to include and then generate again, and so it'll be saved as a third version. And if you connect your Amazon account, you can sync directly to it. So the idea is that you will be able to make all the changes directly here and be able to make sure that it is the best version of the listing possible in it. So that's how we build this. So this is like a summary of using AI to improve your product listing. This is just the beginning. There are a lot more things that we and the other players in the market are doing it, and I support that. I support more innovation, and I encourage more people to work towards making the lives of small businesses easier, accessible, and give them the level of resources that till date they have not been able to access to. So that is how you can use AI to improve your Amazon product listings.